So yesterday we saw till the concept of refractive index, right? This was the last problem we saw yesterday. And we saw refraction through a plane surface, right? Plane in the sense there was a straight boundary and we saw the refraction through the plane surface. Okay. Next is, now we will see refraction by spherical lenses. Okay. Okay. Now I have a question. So there is a device called as lens and there is another device called as prism, right? Can somebody give me a definition to both these devices? If I ask you to define a lens or a prism, how are you going to do it?
Sir, lens can be defined as a transparent material bound by two surfaces.
Okay. Then what about a prism? Prism is also a transparent material bounded by two refracting surfaces. Okay. 1 minute, guys. Okay. Yeah. Can someone repeat it again? See, when you talk about a lens, you told that it is a transparent medium with two refracting surfaces, right? My question is, prism is also a transparent medium with two refracting surfaces. Then what is the difference between these two? You just need to add one more point to it. What is it? So lens is a transparent material with two refracting surfaces where at least one should be of what nature? At least one should be curved. Whereas if you talk about a prism, it will have both the refracting surfaces which are planar in nature. Please have this point noted. Okay. Now comes the next question. So when I talk about lens, where are these derived from? It is derived from sphere, right? So we call them as spherical lens, right? Guys, are you able to understand? Just a minute. Yeah, sorry. So did you understand the difference? So here we are going to see what is the refraction by spherical lenses. So when you talk about the spherical lenses, what are all the types of boundaries that are possible? So I told you at least one should be curved, no? So how will you be able to define the boundaries? What are the two types of boundaries we know with respect to spherical surfaces? One is a concave boundary, and the second is a convex boundary, right? So based on the type of the boundaries that you're going to use, lenses are basically classified into how many types?
Convex and concave.
Okay, so convex and concave, right? So this convex lens can also be called as biconvex, and concave can also be called as biconcave. Try to understand the difference. If I draw a lens like this, okay, what is the name of this lens?
Convex.
How did you know that? So how are you calling it as convex? Because when you see from the right hand side, which boundary are you facing? You are facing a
The
convex boundary.
convex boundary.
Similarly, when you're seeing from right hand side also, you're facing a convex boundary. So since you're facing two convex boundaries, we can also call it as biconvex, or in simple terms, it is given as a convex lens. Clear? Similarly, if I draw a lens like this, then this is called as
Concave lens.
biconcave.
Biconcave.
See, this is again an extra information. If I draw one curved surface like this and something like this, what do you think will be the name of this? This is what kind of a surface? This is a convex
Concave.
surface. This is I drew a straight line. It's a plane. Okay. Generally, we call them as plano-convex. Don't worry, this is not there in your syllabus. Just for you to understand how the lens are named. Okay. So our main concentration is going to be only on convex and concave. So I hope you understood why the names have actually come. Now, the next is with respect to the convex lens and concave lens, what are all the parts that you have? Just like how a mirror has parts associated with it, the lens also has parts, right? So what are all the parts that you have?
Center of curvature.
First one, what is it? What is the center of the lens called as?
Optical center.
Optical.
What is this? We call it as optical center. Oh, okay. Then how many focus? Okay. See, focus is singular. F-O-C-I-I. Foci is or foci or foci is plural. Okay. So how many foci does a lens have?
2.
It has 2. So how many center of curvatures does it have?
2.
The same 2. Okay. Now comes another question. You know what is optical center? It is the center of the lens. Okay. Secondly, how do you define the focus of a lens? It is, yeah, so proceed.
The point after refraction, the rays actually meet, sir.
What type of rays?
Converging rays.
Converging.
No. What are the support? How are the rays supposed to be? The incident rays are supposed to be?
Parallel.
Yes. So when you consider a set of parallel incident rays, after refraction, whatever point on the principal axis those rays meet, that point they will meet or they will tend to meet. That point is what is called as focus. Right? Then what is center of curvature? The center of curvature is the center from which the lens is obtained. So if I take a curvature like this, the center of the sphere from which this part is actually taken is called as the center of curvature. Next
So
is what is
the curvature, sir?
this curvature that I drew. So this is, see, if you take a sphere, okay, how do you actually get a spherical lens? If I take this as a sphere, I cannot draw a three-dimensional surface. From this, if I take this part, okay, if I break this part, then if I take it separately, is it not going to look like this? So this is
Yes,
the
sir.
part of the convex lens that is being used, but it is taken from a sphere. The sphere has a center. So the center of the sphere from which the lens is taken as a part of is what is called as the center of curvature. Okay. So if I take this
Okay.
as the focal length and if I take this as the radius of curvature, what is the relation between them? F is equal to the same
2R.
R by, no, F is R by 2, R is 2F. Because F is a midpoint of optical center in the center of curvature.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. R by 2.
Yes, it is R by 2. So I hope it is clear. So obviously everybody knows what is the principal axis. It is an imaginary line that passes through the two center of curvatures. That's what we call it as the principal axis. Next is, how do you trace the location of images formed by lenses? So what are all the rules to be followed for you to complete the ray diagram for locating the image? Anybody?
Rays which are parallel to the principal axis after refraction will pass through principal focus in case of convex lens and will
Okay,
appear to be coming from principal focus in case of concave lens.
okay, rays parallel to principal axis. Where is the image formed? It's formed at the focus, irrespective of whether it is a concave or a convex lens. Second,
Ray
rays.
passing through or directed to the focus will emerge parallel to the principal axis.
Can you repeat it again? Rays from.
Ray passing through or directed to the
Your voice
focus
is
will emerge
your voice is
parallel to
breaking.
the
Rays.
principal axis.
I'm able to hear only principal axis.
Ray passing through the focus will emerge parallel to the principal axis.
That's right. Rays passing through focus pass parallel to principal axis. So where is the image formed? So if an object is kept at
Infinity,
the focus,
sir.
yes, it is at infinity. So this is the position of image or location of image. So when the rays are coming, when the object is placed at infinity, the image is formed at focus. When the object is placed at focus, the image is formed at infinity. Third,
Ray directed to optical center will emerge out undeviated.
ray directed through optical center
Will emerge out undeviated.
will emerge out undeviated. That's right. Is that enough? Is that enough for us to locate the images? Yes, they are. Now, so if the object is placed, so with respect to a convex lens, what are all the positions of the object that is possible and where all can you locate the image? How many ray diagrams do you think we will have with respect to convex lens? So convex lens is similar to concave mirror. This is how you can relate. So concave mirror has 6 ray diagrams. Convex lens will also have 6 ray diagrams. So what are all the positions at which you can place the object? One is at infinity. So when you place it at infinity, the image is formed at f2, right? So how is the image? What is going to be the nature of it? Nature and the size of it. So when it is formed at f2, it is a point-sized object. So it is highly diminished in terms of magnification and it is point-sized. What is going to be the nature of the image? It is going to be real and inverted. So what are all the things that are going to happen? So if I take a convex lens like this, optical center, I'll call this as f1. This is C1. I'll call this as f2 and I'll call this as C2. When a ray is taken parallel to the principal axis, after refraction, they meet at a point on the focus. Okay. Next, if I take the object beyond C, where will the image be formed? Tell me how to complete the ray diagram.
So it
So
will be formed between F2 and 2F2.
Okay, so how to complete the ray diagram? If you take a ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction, it will pass through the focus. Then what is the other ray that I can think of?
Through optical center, sir.
That is an easy one, right? So if you think through an optical center, this is where you're going to locate the image. So this is the height of the object, this is the height of the image. So what is the name of this distance, guys? The distance between the optical center and the foot of the object is called?
Object distance, sir.
Yes, that's right. Object distance. The distance between the object, the optical center and the foot of the image is what we call it as the image distance, right? Next is, this is called as the focal length of the lens. So what is the relation between all these 3 points? 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. What is the name of this, guys? It's called as lens. It's called as lens formula. Similarly, what is the magnification of lens? M is equal to
V by U.
It is V by U, unlike a mirror. All these derivations you will have in 12th standard, okay? All these are derived based on, I'll just give you an outline. All these are derived based on similarity of triangles. Okay. So derivation, since it is not important for your 10th standard, I'm not explaining it. If you know the formula and know how to apply it, that's more than sufficient. So is it clear till this point? What is the other extension that I can do to this formula? This can also be written as, I wrote it for mirror. 1 by f can also be written as 2 by
R.
This is another way to remember. Make a note of it. Okay. So magnification is equal to V divided by U. So when you place it beyond 2f1, where is the image located? At f2, between f2 and 2f2. So how is the image? It is diminished. Now with respect to a lens, when can you call it as a real image? With respect to a mirror, I told you yesterday, if the object and image are on the same side, real with respect to a mirror, what should happen? Object and image should be on which side? On same side. Whereas with respect to a lens, where are they supposed to be? Object and image should be on opposite sides. Right? So this is what happens, right? So I hope everybody is comfortable with ray diagram. Is there anyone having a doubt with it? If anybody wants me to explain it, I'll do it, or else I'll proceed to the next part. I'll concentrate on how to solve the problems. Okay, I hope you're clear, right? So I'm not drawing the ray diagram, I'm going to explain the outline alone. When you place it at the center of curvature, you will get the image also at the center of curvature on the other side. And the image is going to be of the same size and it is real and inverted. Correct? So let's try to write one extra point. Here, if I try to write the value of magnification, how much will it be? In the first case, what is the magnification? It is point size. So image is of 0 size and the object has finite size. So use the formula m is equal to v by u. So how much will you get? M is equal to guys, what is the answer? What happened? So what is the magnification here? It is 0. Similarly, when the image is diminished, what is going to be the magnification value? M will be less than 1. When the when it is of the same size, magnification will be equal to, guys, I need response.
0, sir.
Sorry? M is equal to 1.
1.
So when it is enlarged, M is all
Greater
these will
than
be
1.
yes, all
Greater
these will,
than.
that's right. Infinitely large or highly enlarged. M is equal to highly enlarged means how much is the image?
So it would be greater than 1 or
It is infinity because it is infinitely large. Okay, generally what will happen is when you place the object at focus, generally when you see, I'll show you the diagram. When you place the object at the focus, no, observe where is the image located. They are set of the refracted rays are set of parallel rays. From maths, we know the concept that parallel rays will meet only at infinity. That is why we say the image is infinitely large. Okay.
Okay.
So I hope there is no confusion. So m is equal to infinity. Please make a note of this point. This is another important point. When the object is placed between the focus and the optical center, this is similar to what case in concave mirror. When the object is placed between the in the case of
Focus and
concave
optical
mirror,
center.
mirror optical center, it is pole. Right. So with respect to a concave mirror, when you place, see, concave mirror and convex lens, they both are similar. So with respect to a concave mirror, when you place the object between the focus and the pole, the image formed is virtual. Similarly, with respect to a convex lens, when you place the object between the focus and the optical center, the image formed is virtual. And how is that image? It is an enlarged image. So if there is a question that is asked, okay, I'll tell you, remember this point, okay? It is enlarged and the image is virtual and erect. Here magnification is again greater than 1. Okay. Am I clear with all these points?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll revisit this again. Okay, I'll tell you how the questions can be asked. I'll revisit this. Now, with respect to a concave lens, what are the two positions that are possible? You can place the object at infinity and you can place it anywhere between infinity and the optical center. So when you place it at infinity, obviously the answer is going to be, the image is going to be located at the focus. No doubt on that. And when the image is formed at the focus, it is highly diminished and point size. Magnification is value. I told you already, point size. Point size means what is the size of it?
Lesser than 1?
0. Huh?
Zero.
See, highly diminished or point size. Point means what? It doesn't have any size, right? Its radius is 0. Remember it like that. So magnification is 0. When I say diminished, m is less than 1. Okay. And an important point to be noted here is concave lens will always form a virtual and an erect image. So virtual images are always erect, real images are always inverted. Now comes an important question. I can frame a question like this. So I'm giving you one more question like this. Mention a scenario where you are able to generate a virtual and erect image. I'm repeating it. Give me a scenario where you can generate a virtual and erect image which is magnified. I'm repeating it. Look, give me a scenario where you have a virtual. I'm talking about scenario with respect to lens. Give me a scenario with respect to lens where the image is virtual and erect and also magnified. What is the answer? Magnified means enlarged. So what is the scenario?
Between F and O in a convex lens.
Lens and F and O are the keywords for you to get marks. So are you able to understand? So convex lens will always form a virtual image and that virtual image is always diminished. It is either highly diminished or diminished. Whereas there is only one scenario with respect to lens. Out of the 8 ray diagrams that is possible, there is only one scenario where you will get enlarged. The other name for enlarged is magnified. Both mean the same. If they use the word magnified, don't get confused. Okay. So you'll get an enlarged or magnified image with respect to a convex lens when the object is placed between the focus and the optical center. So tell me one thing. Is there any doubt till this point? Is there any question that you have already had in the exam which confused you? Something like that. Is there anything you want me to stress and explain? So give me a confirmation. I hope everybody is comfortable with ray diagrams, right? You guys can draw it if they ask you,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? That's enough. Okay. And you need to know the table as well. So Similar to lens, we have similar to mirror, we have sign convention here also. It's the same logic, I think. With respect to a mirror, what did I say? How did I ask you to take the sign convention? If you take this as the pole, what did I ask you to take that pole as? Take that pole as the origin and draw a Cartesian system by dividing the whole diagram into 4 parts. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So any distance measured on the right of the origin is taken as positive. Any distance measured on the left of the origin is taken as negative. Any distance measured above the origin is above the x-axis is positive. Any distance measured below the x-axis is negative. Now, what do you think are we supposed to do with respect to a lens? So, what are we supposed to do? You need to take the optical center as the origin, divide it into 4 parts, right? Such that this becomes the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. The same logic is applicable. Any distance measured on the right of the optical center is taken as positive. Any distance measured on the left of the optical center is taken as negative. Any distance measured above the x-axis, okay, above the x-axis or above the principal axis is taken as positive. Any distance measured below the principal axis is taken as negative. Right. So tell me one thing. Keeping all these points in mind, what will be the by default sign convention of U? Irrespective of whether it is lens or a mirror, U is always
Negative.
Why is it negative? Because you'll always place the object on the left hand side. You either place it on the left of the pole with respect to mirror or left of the optical center with respect to lens. So U by default is negative. Please make a note of it. In no question you're going to change its value. At least for 10th standard, you're not going to change its value at all. Next, if I talk about the focal length of convex lens and focal length of concave lens, I want you guys to give me a sign convention.
Sir, the focal length of convex lens will be positive.
Very good.
The focal length of concave lens will be negative.
Obviously, the other one will be negative. My question is, how did you know it is positive? Because, see, I will ask you, I have a question in my mind. Let me put this question. You people think and tell me the answer. With respect to a mirror, how many focus do I have? How many foci do I have with respect to a mirror? With respect to a mirror, how many foci do I have? We have only one, right? With respect to mirror, with respect to concave and convex mirror, there is only one focus and one center of curvature. Now, with respect to lens, you have two, no? Bhuya, was that you who answered?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, everybody listen to this question, okay? With respect to a lens, I have two focus, f1 and f2, two foci, right? Now, which foci is helping me to decide that the focal length of a convex lens is positive? How did you conclude it? With respect to mirror, my job was easy. Only one thing, so I could take the sign convention and choose it. With respect to a convex lens or a concave lens, how did you choose it as positive or negative? Guys, are you able to understand what I'm asking? Right. So I have first refracting surface and second refracting surface. Now tell me whether F1, or I will put it like this, is it OF1 or OF2 which is going to decide the sign convention of the focal length in case of convex lens? So you guys connect the dot. You told me that convex lens, the focal length is positive. That's right. So if it should be positive, then what should be the answer to my question?
OF2.
It should be OF2. And the reason for that is very simple, because what did I say? By default, you'll place the object on the left-hand side. So when the object is placed at infinity on the left-hand side, where is the image formed due to it? It is by default formed at this distance. Means when the object is kept on the left-hand side, the image is formed on the right-hand side. That is why OF2 is the deciding factor in case of whom? In the case of a convex lens. Similarly, if I take a concave lens, see here. If I take a concave lens, when the object is placed at infinity, where is the image formed? It is formed at F1. So in the case of a concave lens, OF1 is the deciding factor of the sign of focus. That is why here it is negative and here it is positive. Guys, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you didn't know this point, I want everybody to make a note of it. They didn't just like that come out. You should start asking the logics. Okay. So I'll move on to the next point. So we have seen what is the lens formula. Now next is magnification. So what is going to be the magnification of a lens? That also you people told me. By default, the definition of magnification is it is the ratio of size of the image to the size of the object. Your textbook writes it as h dash divided by h. So that is there. And in terms of image distance and object distance, it is given as b divided by e. Clear? So this is what magnification speaks about. Okay. Now, keeping all these points in mind, let's try to solve a question. See, I'm again sure that you people can solve this using the formula, but I want you to think and relate this concept to the ray diagram and visualize it. It is then you will have a better clarity. Okay. Now, let's start solving. You have a concave lens. So, what is the other name for concave lens?
Converging lens, sir.
It is converging. Why is it converging? Because the rays after refraction, they converge towards the principal axis. That is the reason why we call it as converging lens. Similarly, convex is a diverging lens, a known fact. Okay. So there is a concave lens which is having a focal length of 15 centimeter. Let's stop it with that. So focal length, always leave some gap and write 15 centimeter. Now recollect, convex lens, is it positive or negative? Sorry, concave lens, the focal length.
Negative.
I'm really sorry, concave lens, did I say it as converging lens? I'm really sorry, did I say that? It is diverging lens, sorry. Really sorry. So F is minus 15. At what distance? So see, even before you complete the question, what should be in your mind, guys? When you see it as a concave lens, what is the nature of the image always formed by concave lens?
Real and inverted, sir.
Hey, concave lens will never form real. It is always virtual and direct.
Virtual and direct, sorry, sir.
It is always virtual and direct. So why I'm saying this is your answer for B should also be negative. Okay. At what distance should the object from the lens be placed? Object from the lens be placed means what are they asking? You should not read the question completely. At what distance should the object from the lens be placed? Means what distance is that? U is equal to what? So that it forms an image at 10 centimeter from the lens. So V is equal to 10 centimeter.
Minus 10.
If you don't know the fact that it forms a virtual and direct image, you'll miss that minus sign. Your answer will be wrong. If you want, you can try it out and see. You will get the U value as positive. You try and see later. Don't do it now. You take V as plus 10 and do and see. You will get wrong answer. Okay. So 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. 1 by V is minus 10 minus 1 by unknown parameters. You should not introduce the sign. But by default, what should the value of U come out as? Should it come out as negative or a positive value? Since you have got V as negative,
Negative.
it should be negative because virtual image means image and the object are on the same side. Means image and the object should have the same sign, is equal to 1 divided by minus 15. When you solve this, you will get the value of u as minus 30. Okay, that part I am leaving it to you. So u will come out as minus 30 centimeter. So what is the magnification? What else are they asking? Also find the magnification produced. M is equal to V divided by U. But when you apply the formula, you need to apply sign convention also. V is minus 10, U is minus,
Minus 30.
so 1 by 3. So magnification 1 by 3, is it less than 1 or greater than 1?
Lesser than 1.
It's 0.33, no, lesser than 1. So I told you an important point in the table. When you place the object between infinity and optical center, your magnification comes out to be less than 1, right? So our theory is right. Right. Now, so one more important point to be noted. I want you all to make a note of it. If the magnification with respect to a lens, write it down. If the magnification with respect to a lens is positive, then what does it mean? The magnification with it is erect and virtual. So first you always use the word virtual, okay? Because virtual images are always erect. Okay. So M positive represents it is virtual and erect. With respect to whom? With respect to a lens. So M is negative means
Real and inverted.
it is real. So real images are always inverted. Okay. So that's the meaning. So sign will tell you about the nature, and the numerical value will tell about the size, the magnification of it, whether the image size is greater than the object or the vice versa. Right? So I hope that's clear. Next. There is a 2 centimeter tall object which is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 10 centimeter. So let's take out the value. So what have they given? Height of the object is 2 centimeter. Height of the object by default, is it positive or negative?
Positive, sir.
Positive.
Yes, height of the object by default is positive because with respect to principal axis, the arrow mark will always be upward. Okay. Is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length, how much? 10 centimeter. Focal length of the convex. Positive or negative?
Positive.
Negative.
Positive. The distance of the object from the lens is 15 centimeter. U is equal to 15 centimeter. Positive or negative? U by default is negative.
Negative.
Find the nature, position, and size of the image. Also find its magnification. Will you be able to do it? Only one formula: 1 by V minus 1 by U is 1 by F. So V is equal to question mark 1 by V, no sign convention, by 1 by minus 15 is equal to 1 divided by 10. So 1 by V is equal to 1 by 10 minus 1 by 15. I wrote minus 1 by 15 because minus of minus is plus. It will go to the other side as minus. So 15 minus 10 divided by 150. So that is 5 divided by 150. V is how much? You will get it as 30 centimeter. Now observe. U is negative. V is positive. What is the nature of the image? So with respect to a lens, U and V have opposite signs. Then what is the nature? Is it real or virtual?
Real, sir.
Real.
It's a real image and it is by default inverted. Okay, next I have a question. So focal length is 10 centimeter. Then how much is the radius of curvature?
5, sir. 10 by 2, 5.
Right.
Sir, 20.
It is 20. I think you're confused. Sir. You need to work on that. Radius of curvature is not half of focal length. It is double the focal length. It is 20. Okay. Now, where
Yes,
is the
sir.
object distance? 15 centimeter. Now, if you go back to the ray diagram, this is a scenario of an object placed between these 2 points. See, let's try to draw a rough diagram. Okay, convex lens. This is 10 centimeter. This is 20 centimeter. The object is placed at 15 centimeter. This is f1. This is 2f1. Where is the object placed? It is placed between the focus and the center of curvature. Okay. Now recollect and tell me, where is the image for this particular situation located? Guys, these things should be at your fingertips. Okay. This is f2. Every time you cannot sit and draw a ray diagram and waste your time.
So beyond 2f2, sir?
Yes, it is beyond 2f2. It is beyond the center. See, it's very simple, guys. Okay. There is something called as, I'll explain one simple point. Have this in your mind. Don't think so much. When you place the object at infinity, you're getting at focus. The reverse scenario is what? When you place it at focus, you will get it at infinity. Right? When you place it beyond 2f1, you are getting between focus and the center of curvature. So what will be the reverse scenario? When you place it between the focus and the center of curvature, you should get it beyond the center of curvature. That is how it works. To put it in simple terms, as you keep moving towards the lens, the image keeps moving away from the lens. Are you able to understand? See, like I'll put it like this, okay? When you read it next time, I want you to read it like this. I'll label the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. First and the fifth point are reverse of each other. Second and the fourth point are reverse of each other. Okay. So at center of curvature, by default, you will have it in mind because that's a very famous scenario. Similarly, there is only one scenario where you will get a virtual image. That is also a famous scenario. So what is that you need to remember? If you remember the first point, the fifth point is the reverse of it. Second point, the fourth point is the reverse of it. Now, keeping all these points in mind, I want you to connect the dots and tell me, if it is beyond the center of curvature on the other side, what will be this distance? The center of curvature is 20. It's at a distance of 20. And the focus is at a distance of 10. So your answer for the image distance, is it not supposed to be greater than 20? Guys, does it make sense? So are you getting the answer greater than 20? Are you right or wrong?
We are right, sir.
You are right. So you need not verify the answer. I'm saying this logic will help you to think better. Okay. And secondly, we should have a sign opposite to U because it is a real and inverted image. V is on the right hand side, U is on the left hand side. So that is also, we have achieved that also. So V is equal to 30 centimeter is right. Now what about the magnification? Again, recollected from the scenario. Is it a magnified thing or is it a diminished one? So M is equal to V divided by U. V is 30. U is how much? Minus 15. It is minus 2. Here the negative sign indicates that it is, I told you, M is negative means real and inverted. Right? And the value is greater than 1. So it is a magnified, enlarged image. Again, refer your table. Is it right? Is it not right? It is an enlarged image. Guys, again, the important point for me is I want you to understand how to think. I'm concerned about that thing. I'm not concerned about the answer in this question. Will you people start thinking like this? Right? Whenever you see a problem, try to draw a rough diagram and then try to analyze with the ray diagram so that you will be sure with your answer. If you get wrong answer, you will be able to correct yourself in the exam point. Right? Shall we do one more problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, this is something based on the logic. So there is a convex lens, okay, convex lens, which is a converging lens, which forms a real and inverted image of a needle at a distance of 50 centimeter from it. Where is the needle placed in front of the convex lens if the image is equal to the size of the object? A very simple answer. There is a convex lens which forms a real and inverted image of a needle at a distance of 50 centimeter from it. So what have they given? Have they given you the object distance or the image distance?
Image distance, sir.
Image distance is given as 50 centimeters. Since they told it is real and inverted, image distance will be positive. Okay. So V is equal to 50 centimeters in such a way, where is the needle exactly placed so that in front of the convex lens, where the image is equal to the size of the object. So there are two logics. One is you can refer the ray diagram stable and tell, or else you can use the magnification formula. When they say image is equal to the size of the object, magnification is 1. So what is the formula for magnification? B divided by U is 1. And real image means it is negative sign. So V by U is 1. So V is equal to minus 1. So U is minus B actually. It's minus 50 centimeter. That is nothing but, so in this question, they can twist and ask you like this also. What is the center of curvature? What is the radius of curvature? What is the answer? So in this problem, if they twist and ask you, what is the radius of curvature? What is going to be your answer?
F into 2.
It's 15, no? Because when you place the object at center of curvature, we get the image also at center of curvature. They are told the image distance is 50 centimeter. So obviously, what is going to be the radius of curvature? Are you still confused? R is also 50 centimeter. Are you guys convinced or not? If they ask focal length, you have to do all those formula thing. Focal length is 25 centimeter. Guys, am I clear? Or is it confusing?
Clear, sir.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Okay. Okay, you guys try the other problems. If there is any doubt, you can approach me. Okay. The last concept that is left out in this chapter is power of lens. So what is power? It is the reciprocal of the focal length. Where the focal length is measured in what? So power is equal to 1 by F if F is in meter. Or power is equal to 100 divided by F if F is in centimeter. So what is the unit of power? The unit of power is diopter, and it is written in capital D, and that 1 diopter is nothing but 1 meter inverse. Okay, so obviously power is equal to 1 by F. If you need to find the sign of the power, the sign of the power is decided by the focal length of the lens, the sign of the focal length of the lens. So focal length is, if the focal length is positive, then power is also positive. It is possible for a convex lens. If the focal length is negative, power will also be negative. It is possible for a concave lens, right? So one more additional point I would like to add is 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F is equal to 2 by R. This can also be written as power. Why did I write it as P? Because P is equal to 1 by F. This is another perspective. This is another way of looking at the question. For example, if they give you the image distance and object distance of a lens in a question, and they ask you to find the power, you should not get confused. Right. Next is find the power of a concave lens of focal length 2 meter. So power is equal to 1 by, so 1 by 2. Answer is 0.5.
0.5 meter.
I made a mistake. Corrected. 0.5.
Sir, it is
Negative.
It is negative.
Negative.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, tell me, ma.
Magnification is V by U, sir. We have put minus V by U.
Where did I put minus V by U? Here. Huh? Is this what you're
So
asking?
the answer should be 50 now, sir.
Minus 50. For which one? You're asking about the second one, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll repeat it again. Listen to this carefully. Magnification is V by U, absolutely accepted. But I told you another important point. If it is a real and inverted image, so they have told you magnification is 1. But for real and inverted image, what will be the sign of the magnification? Did you note that point? I told you an important point. Magnification is negative for a real and inverted image. Did you note that point?
Yes, sir.
So I put a minus sign for 1. I didn't put a minus sign for the formula.
Oh, okay, sir. I understood.
Okay, that is why I got V is equal to minus U. And I told you one more point. With respect to a lens, if it is real and inverted, image distance and object distance should definitely have opposite sides.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that is the reason. So that's all from my side, guys. You guys can try out other problems, and if there is any doubt, you can reach out to me personally. Okay. So next class we will discuss. If you have doubts, we will discuss those doubts and then go to the next chapter, or else we'll directly go to the next chapter. Okay. But if you have doubts, feel free to approach. Okay.